Well, good morning, folks. Pastor Rocky Branch, Spruce Pine First Baptist Church. Today is the 23rd day of November. Miss Janice and I had our 45th wedding anniversary yesterday. And we've been together 48 years. It's an amazing thing to think about, really and truly, especially when we got married as non-Christians. And then God turned all that around in such an incredible way. I would not be here if God hadn't have done that. At least I don't believe I would have been. Of course, she has been right by my side, such a blessing. One of the things that we think about when we think about marriage longevity, we think about, Christian service. We have to think about how much you believe in what you believe in. And that's an interesting question. How much do you believe in what you believe in? You see, we're talking about the early church. We're looking at some things that happened in the early church, some things that took place, some people that did some things, some stands that they had to make. Peter and John, because of this man that's being healed at the temple gate, and he's up there dancing and shouting and carrying on and all that sort of stuff, they're called in. They're almost arrested, if you will, called in to the council. And they're going to find out what's going on because these guys are the elite of the day. And they're going to find out what's going on exactly, how you promoting all this stuff that's happening, plus the healing of this guy that's been lame since a kid. And everybody knows that. So now you've upset the apple cart. So what's going to happen now? Peter and John they were not shy in answering the question. One of the things we have to stop right here and ask you, how far are you willing to go on what you believe in? Or how much do you believe in what you believe in? Supposing it's something that creates a challenge for you, something that's wrong, something that's going to be inconvenient, something that's going to be uncomfortable. Many people stop their belief when it happens to be intrusive into their way of living. But Peter and John, being captured, if you will, in this Sanhedrin, Pharisaical sort of group of people that's throwing questions at them right and left, as, they're talking about Jesus, they're talking about Jesus is gone, and here you're using his name and all this sort of stuff. And they basically tell them, stop. We're going to let you go, a little smack on the hand, but stop using his name. They said, no, we're not going to stop using his name. In fact, his name is what we know. His name is all that we know. His name is the most important thing that we know. We're not going to stop using his name. In fact, it says it like this. When they're standing before the council, the man that has been lame from his mother's womb is with them. And they cannot deny it. They cannot deny that something has happened. That's a number one question. Can people in your family and people you are around, can they look at you and say, something has happened to this person? Jesus Christ has done something in this person's life. That needs to be your testimony. People around you need to be able to look at you and say, you know what? Jesus Christ has changed this person from who they were to who they are and what they're supposed to be. So in this case, this council got these two fellows together and they started to threaten them. And they said, here's what's going to happen. If you don't stop doing what you're doing, we're going to have to bring some judgment on you. And they didn't care. And in fact, it says in verse 13, when the council saw that Peter and John were bold and they perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they were amazed. Now, what they mean by this is that Peter and John didn't go to school, rabbinical school. They didn't go to any training. They just saw, wow, these guys are bold. I mean, these guys are really on the ball. They believe what they're saying. Their faith is enough to be faithful in. That's a good question. Is your faith enough? Well, it was for them, and it says they marveled at them, and they took knowledge that they had been with Jesus. What an incredible testimony for anyone to receive, that you or I or we have been with Jesus Christ. By the way we walk, by the way we talk, by the way we act, by the way we speak. All those things. Listen to me carefully, please. We cannot afford to have our testimony up and down like a winding road up here in the mountains. We're supposed to stay straight, locked in, not compromising, not changing, not giving up, not giving in. Showing people that we also may not have had the greatest education or the greatest minds or the greatest learning ability, but we have been with Jesus Christ, and that's enough. And that's a very important question. Had Miss Janice and I not met Jesus Christ in 1981, we would have never made it. I'm telling you, we would have never made it. But God brought an explosion into our lives and changed us in an incredible way. And since that time, been preaching 45 years come January. Oh my goodness, what a time the Lord has done for us. How blessed we are, how grateful we are. Do you believe enough to believe in what you believe? That's an important statement. Think about it. I believe it'll challenge you and bless you at the same time. God bless you.